It's another divestment disaster!
Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS All About the Goddess. The Goddess Next Door bears all in the art studio to catch a campus stalker in this action-packed ISIS series mystery. Get your copy of ISIS All About the Goddess in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. Devin Michaels, the black biracial adult film star formerly known as Nikki Fairchild, and Tracy Tavares, was convicted of murdering her white baby daddy in a Las Vegas courtroom.
Please be seated, Your Honor. The jury's all present and accounted for.
Back on the record, receipt 377-239, State of Nevada versus Devin Michaels. The record reflect that Ms. Michaels is present with her attorneys. Deputy District Attorneys, on behalf of the state, we both parties stipulate to the presence of our jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, has the jury selected a fourth person? Okay. And Mr. Gilpin, Mr. Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes.
If you could pass the verdict form to the marshal. All right, the clerk will now read the verdict into the record.
District Court, Clark County, Nevada. State of Nevada plaintiff versus Devin J. Michaels, a.k.a. Devin Willett, a.k.a. Nikki Fairchild, a.k.a. Tracy Baker, a.k.a. Tracy Nicole Tavares, defendant. Case number C-23-377-239-1, Department 10. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant, Devin J. Michaels, as follows. Count 1, murder with use of a deadly weapon. Guilty of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon. Dated this 14th day of November, 2025, signed Aaron Gilded. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict as read? So say you one, so say you all?
Yes.
Does either side desire to have the jury polled?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you very much for the time and attention that you paid to this matter. The right to a trial by jury is a right that's guaranteed in the Constitution, but it's a right that we cannot provide without our citizens like you being willing to sit and serve your civic duty as jurors. I do appreciate the time that you gave this matter, so on behalf of the court and the parties, I want to thank you for the time and attention. I know that this was a lot that we asked you to do, so if you guys could follow the marshal to the back, and I will come back and formally excuse you from jury duty.
All right, to the jury.
Okay, this matter is going to be referred to the Division of Parole and Probation, set down for sentencing on.
January 8th at 9 a.m.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to go back and talk to the jury and the least of any desire to speak to you guys. I'll come back and let you know. But it's late. I'm going to wrap it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I worked and it was like,
Yeah.
Now, according to reports, biracial former adult film star Devin Michaels allegedly took the life of her white baby daddy, 46-year-old Jonathan Willett, in his Henderson home on the night of August 6, 2023. And as she beat Jonathan Willett with a stick and then decapitated him, She then poured chemicals all over his body, leaving it so that it would basically, the chemicals would be all over the body to, one, cover up the evidence of the crime. And then after she poured chemicals all over his body, she then took the head of Jonathan Willett and then threw it in the trash of her Northwest Valley neighborhood, and that head has never been found. And after she threw this man's head in the trash, she then married her stepson, who was the son of Jonathan Willett, and looked to live happily ever after with the stepson of Jonathan Willett and the 2 children she had by Jonathan Willett in her Las Vegas neighborhood. However, when people found the body of Jonathan Willett, they then contacted police, and police quickly made Devin Michaels the prime suspect in the crime. And with the evidence base basically being overwhelming as related to Devin Michaels being that prime suspect, Devin Michaels quickly accepted a plea deal of 15 years in prison for this crime. However, when the plea was supposed to be put into the court, this is where Devin Michaels changed her mind and looked to go to trial. Now, this decision to go to trial was not a smart one for Devin Michaels, because Devin Michaels basically went out here and basically told the Las Vegas police all the details what had happened as related to the plea deal that she took for this crime. And with the evidence being overwhelming connecting her to this crime, going to trial basically would lead to her not being able to do less time, but would wind up leading to her doing even more time. But that didn't matter to Devin Michaels, because what Devin Michaels really wanted to do in this case was just basically make the family suffer, I believe, because when it comes down to many of these sex workers, many of these women are traumatized, and because they've been traumatized by their years in the adult industries, what happens is they are miserable, and what they want to do is make someone miserable in their company. Now, in a previous video, I explained why Devin Michaels was a woman who was deeply in crisis, like I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis. And in that video, I talked about why Devin Michaels basically, again, went out here and took the life of Jonathan Willett. Now, when it came down to Devin Michaels was a deeply troubled woman even before she met Jonathan Willett, because as a former sex worker, she was dealing with a lot of different issues as related to the sex work she participated in. Now, when Devin Michaels was in the adult film industry as Nikki Fairchild and Tracy Tavares, she was abusing her body with all sorts of different men. And as she was having all of this sex with these men in these adult films and behind the scenes, what she was doing was participating in this sexual promiscuity, and this promiscuity was affecting her spirit, because what many men and women don't know is that sex is not just a physical act, it is a spiritual act where 2 people become one. And when someone is too sexually promiscuous and has multiple partners at one time, what happens with that woman as she goes through a metamorphosis is the 2 people as she's having sex with become one. And instead of that woman being able to pair bond when she has sex with multiple partners, what happens is that her soul starts to get torn apart from all the men who are looking to bond with her. And with Devin Michaels being an adult film star, she had sex with multiple men who are of all races. And as she was having sex with all of these men, what was happening in her was spiritually, she had all these different men looking to, again, bond to her spirit. And as they looked to bond with her spirit, they began fighting inside of her as related to her spirit, tearing her soul apart. And as that tore her soul apart, this is what led to her having what I would believe to be mental issues behind the scenes, mental issues that most people wouldn't see behind the scenes. That's what's going on in the minds of many of these sex workers as related to the mental and emotional trauma that's going on inside of their spirit and their minds from having all these different men, again, penetrate their bodies. This is what's going on inside of them. And this is what was going on inside of Devin Michaels as she was a part of the adult film industry. And as Devin Michaels transitioned out of the adult film industry, what happened was this woman was carrying around a lot of demons inside of her from all of those different sexual encounters, not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera as well, because many of these adult film stars do participate in sexual promiscuity with producers and directors in order to get more jobs. And as a result, again, these women are basically abusing their bodies and being abused mentally and emotionally behind the scenes of these films. And this is the woman who, again, this man, Jonathan Willett, went and got involved with, not understanding the serious issues going on with this woman. And as he was involved with this woman, he also didn't understand that this woman was simmering and boiling in anger because she felt powerless in that situation as related to the adult film she participated in, and many of the sex scenes she participated in. She felt completely powerless. And the whole thing is that as she got in this relationship, she wasn't looking to be a partner in the relationship. No, she was looking to get the power and control that she never had in her life as related to life. Again, being a sex worker in the adult film industry, again, she was looking for someone to get that power over, and also looking for someone to take out all of her anger on. And sadly, what happened to Jonathan Willett is that Jonathan Willett became what I call a final simp, a man who basically gets involved with a sexually promiscuous woman, and that woman, again, isn't looking to have a relationship with that man that is loving and caring. No, she's looking to go out here and get revenge on all the men who were a part of her past and take out all that anger on that final simp who she basically looks to take out all of her frustrations and anger on about the way she was abused by other men. And that's what happened to Jonathan Willett as he looked to get in a relationship with this biracial black woman. This white man thought that he was going to be able to just get involved with this woman who he thought was a real estate agent, but he didn't understand that this woman was a ticking time bomb. He didn't understand that this woman was a ticking time bomb from the numerous years of abuse of her body as related to having all that sex. She was a deeply troubled woman spiritually, a deeply troubled woman mentally, and when she looked at this guy Jonathan Willett and his stepson, she saw an opportunity to get the power she always wanted in a relationship. She saw an opportunity to also take out her anger on all those other men, and that's what she did here by going out here and having an affair with his son, and then marrying the son, and then going out here and then killing this man Jonathan Willett, who she had 2 children with, and hoped to live happily ever after getting her revenge on the man who would be a stand-in for all the men who she could express her anger about. That's what she was doing with Jonathan Willett. She was looking to express her anger at all the men who she believed abused her. And then after doing this, she wanted to further humiliate that man by going out here and marrying his son in an effort to again maintain that power and control as related to that relationship. And that was her plan to get to happily ever after in her mind. That was the plan for her as related to this whole situation. And what happened was that when they found the body of Jonathan Willett, the entire thing fell apart. It fell completely apart, and Devin Michaels was caught. And once Devin Michaels was caught, she realized she had jammed herself up, and that's why she took the plea deal in the beginning. But then realized that this plea deal would not be beneficial to her. Again, she wanted to prolong the suffering of the Willett family, and that's why she took this case to trial, knowing that she possibly would lose and possibly would wind up with a longer sentence. I mean, this woman was not about again, mitigating the pain. She wanted people to go through pain, even at her own expense, because the only way this case could go with all the evidence would be a conviction. The only way it could go would be a conviction, and as related to the police having not only insurmountable evidence, but could enter that plea that she made as related to pleading guilty. Basically, this woman was going to jail no matter what, but what she did was basically put herself in a place where she would go to prison for a longer time, because now she's not going to jail for 15 years for the murder of Jonathan Willett. No, she basically, again, went out here not understanding the system of white supremacy. Again, this woman, again, a biracial black woman, killed a white man. And under the system of white supremacy, if they have to take you to trial and get a conviction, you're not going to jail for 15 years. No, you're going to jail for life, because the system of white supremacy loves to make an example of black people who go out here and commit crimes against white people. That's what the system of white supremacy loves to do, and that's what's going to happen to Devin Michaels, the adult film star who was formerly known as Nikki Fairchild, and Tracy Tavares. She's basically gone from being, again, turned out by the adult film system to being turned out by the criminal justice system, because now she's guaranteed to get life in prison. She's guaranteed to be in the prison with Betty, Martha, and Big Lou, and trading herself for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand grape drink, off-brand mango drink, off-brand kiwi strawberry drink, off-brand apple juice, off-brand ginger ale, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, off-brand chocolate cookies, off-brand sugar wafers, Hunt's snack pack puddings, Fritos chips, beef summer sausage, beef jerky with cheese, hot peppers, hot pickles, packets of soy sauce, packets of sriracha sauce, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, honey buns. Basically, this chick is going to be, again, traded and basically eaten out for all of the snacks in the commissary, as these women play for her body for spades games inside of that penitentiary. And that's sadly where Devin Michaels will be spending the rest of her days. And what's even sadder is that the children don't have their parents. I mean, these two children don't have their mother or their father. And when it comes down to this whole family, it basically is a sad and tragic thing that happened to this family. But the sad part is that this family should have never really come together. Had this man had some sense, he would have known not to get involved with a sex worker, because when it comes to a lot of sex workers, a lot of these women have serious issues. Again, they have a lot of issues due to the sexual promiscuity they participate in, and smart men know not to get involved with these type of women. They know not to get involved with these type of women because there's no way you can save this woman. I talk about this in my ebook, Misadventures of Captain Save 'Em. There's no way to save this type of woman unless she gives her life to Jesus. There's no saving this woman on your own. And any man who gets involved with this type of woman basically is getting involved with a woman who is a clear and present danger to them, because that woman isn't looking to, again, be a woman who wants to have a relationship with you and build a family with you. No, this woman, again, I'll repeat it once more, is simmering and boiling in anger about all the things that she did with these other men. She's still dealing with spiritual issues as related to those men. She's still got the spirits and DNA of those other men inside of her, and it's tearing her apart. And as she has all that going on and all these demons she's dealing with, she sees you not as a man, but as a representation of someone a male who she can take her anger and frustration on. And the only thing that can happen to you when you get involved with a sex worker is you will wind up becoming a final simp. Again, a final simp is just like the final girl in the horror movie. You basically are this woman's last victim, and she's looking to, again, make you pay for all the evil that was done to her. And that's what these guys just don't understand, again, about these type of women. I talk about this again in Misadventures of Captain Save-'em. They're looking to make you the guy who they basically smashed the kryptonite doo-doo in their face. And again, as related to their the revenge that they want to subconsciously get on men who they believe have done wrong to her. And again, while those guys are going on with their lives, you basically were putting yours in jeopardy getting involved with this woman. And sadly, that's what happened here to this man, Jonathan Willett, who thought he was going to go out here and get involved with Tracy Tavares and live happily ever after. But sadly, now that he's dead, he's now part of, sadly, a tragic case of a crime where this woman got convicted, and now Tracy Tavares, or Devin Michaels, is the latest biracial black woman to be part of a divestment disaster. Now, if you want to learn how to identify women like a Devin Michaels and avoid dealing with them, you can pick up my books, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, and The Woman Crisis on Amazon.com. And you can also find those books at other online booksellers, along with Misadventures of Captain Save-'em, which tells you why you don't get involved with sex workers. You can find all of those books in ebook format and paperback format on Amazon.com and other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos about divestment disasters and the season of the simp, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.